Trump just hit Canadian softwood lumber with over 35% in tariffs. That's a knockout punch for Canada's lumber industry, and a gut check for US homebuilders. Here's what's happening. The US just raised the cost of Canadian lumber to 35.19%, combining a 20.56% anti-dumping duty with a 14.63% countervailing duty. That's more than double last year's rates. Lumber costs are soaring, and American contractors are sweating. Why two duties? Washington says Canada sells lumber too cheap and gets unfair help from provincial stumpage fees. The last peace deal, the 2006 Softwood Lumber Agreement, expired in 2015. Since then, it's been a rollercoaster of disputes and reviews. And this time, the spike was so big that lumber futures jumped to a 3-year high even before the ink dried. But the pain doesn't stop in Canada. US families rebuilding after hurricanes or wildfires could pay up to $6,000 more for a single home. So who wins here? Not American consumers. Not contractors. Not small builders. Canada's furious, but also strategic. Ottawa just rolled out a $1.22 billion rescue plan to keep mills open and workers employed. They're pivoting hard, expanding into Asia and Europe, cutting their reliance on the US market for good. That means while Americans pay more, Canada could come out stronger, with a diversified, global lumber strategy. But lumber isn't the only target. Potatoes just got crushed. Trump's July 31st order raised tariffs on Canadian imports from 25% to 35%, and potatoes are on the list. The result? Canadian potato exports to the US plunged 40% in one quarter. That's 140,000 tons gone. Prices exploded. Fries that cost $3.50 now run over $5. Small diners in the Midwest lost customers. And here's the kicker, over 90% of Canada's potato exports go to the US. One policy just shattered a billion-dollar industry. Farmers in Prince Edward Island and Alberta are ripping up fields, cutting planting by up to 25%. That's a loss of 370,000 tons of potatoes and nearly $3 billion in farm revenue. Processing plants like McCain are scaling back. Jobs are disappearing. Rural communities are hurting. Meanwhile, US households face food bills up to $5,000 higher per year. All because of tariffs. Canada's response? Diversification again. They're fast-tracking deals with ASEAN, eyeing markets in Vietnam, Indonesia, and the Philippines. With trade offices in Asia and preferential deals under the CPTPP, Canada is betting big on the Indo-Pacific. But small farmers still lose. Exporting to Asia costs 30% more than trucking to Buffalo, and big corporations dominate global supply chains. Add legal battles to the mix, Trump's tariff powers are already under federal court scrutiny. If overturned, these tariffs might not even last. And with USMCA up for renegotiation next year, trust is hanging by a thread. Bottom line, tariffs meant to protect America are backfiring, raising costs, deepening shortages, and pushing Canada to go global. Who really wins this trade war? Nobody on Main Street. What do you think? Are tariffs protecting US jobs or just punishing consumers? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the Untold Compass, hit that like button, and share this video with someone who needs to hear the real story.